What is up, Call of Duty fans? IHOLDSHIFT back with you again, and I'm going to be spending most of this week talking about the Pro League qualifiers, but over the course of the last couple of weeks after watching the 2K event being streamed, as well as the Pro League qualifiers, there's been a lot of questions both on Twitch, as well as on YouTube comments, as well as most importantly on Reddit, as far as what is the CWL Pro League. There's a lot of people who are jumping into this Call of Duty for the first time and are a little bit lost on what the Pro League is and the differences between the Pro League teams, the open teams, what the events mean, and all of those things. So I wanted to take some time to kind of break it down in a little bit more of a visual way so you can get a grasp on it and you can follow along pretty nicely. So let's go ahead and dig right into it. What is the CWL Pro League? It will consist of 16 different teams. They'll be split up into 2 different divisions of 8 teams each. Throughout the regular season, it will be just one stage of just a flat-out 12-week regular season played on a LAN client. That will be happening from the course of February, early February, all the way to July through that regular season of 12 weeks. Throughout those 12 weeks, there will be 3 cups or LAN events. These will not be like the past where they're stage finals by any chance. They're just circuits, essentially, where the Pro League will kind of hold its own event, as well as there will be an open event held at those LANs. So we'll get more into that later. And of course, there will be one championship that will cover the entire Pro League at the very end. That typically happens sometime in August. So who is the Pro League? Who can play in it? Who are the teams? All of the questions that you want to know. CWL Vegas was our first event, and that was a purely open event. If you remember back, the way that that worked was that they were taking pro points from previous year from World War II, and there was seeding based on those pro points. The top 4 that placed at CWL Vegas were guaranteed a spot in the Pro League. The rest of the teams, the other top 12, will be happening from the play-in event that's happening just a couple of weeks. 28 total teams will be there. Those were the teams that finished out the top 32 during Vegas, and they'll be split into 4 groups of 7. The top 2 in each of those groups will automatically qualify for the Pro League, and then the bottom 2 of those groups will be eliminated from a chance at being in the Pro League. The other middle 3 from each group, consisting of 12 teams, will play into a playoff bracket, and the top 4 from that playoff bracket will then finish out who is in the Pro League. And again, that Pro League will be happening over the course of 12 weeks, played again in a regular schedule, kind of regular season format, all of it being on LAN. So where do these events happen? We talked about the regular season events, but also these other cups that are happening. Where exactly do these teams play? Let's switch on over. We'll take a look at our world map here. It'll start off with Columbus, Ohio, where all of the Pro League regular season action will happen, including actually the play-in bracket will also be happening in Columbus, Ohio. Our first then main event that will be happening on LAN will be happening in Fort Worth, Texas during CWL Fort Worth. And that again, all of these different CWL events, they will have national qualifiers where the top teams from different respective countries will be having a chance to play at the open event. Again, keep in mind, there is 2 different events. There is a Pro League event that happens at these LANs and an open event. And then all of the other teams that want to participate in the amateur series will also be able to participate. They will be seeded based off of their pro points. Our next event will be happening in London at CWL London. That'll be happening later in the summer, sometime around, I think they're saying around May potentially is when we'll likely see that one come out. We're not 100% sure, as it has yet to be announced. And then we'll finish off our 3rd Cup series at CWL Anaheim near Los Angeles. And then from there we get into our qualifiers for World Championships. The regular season will be based off of seeding points, and that will be likely held again back in Columbus. We do not have full information on where that will be held, but if it's anything like last year, championships will be held at Columbus again. So what about these amateur teams then? We keep talking about how in these open events, there will be an open set of series, and then as well the Pro League series, which will just be standalone circuit tournaments. So the amateurs, throughout the entirety of the regular season, you can participate in game battle events, which will be used for pro points. These are typically 2K events. There are also 1K events, though, that have been listed coming up in the future. So make sure that you're looking for the Game Battles Pro Point series on the Game Battles website. You can also generate pro points by going to the open event tournaments. Anybody can participate in these, and you can build pro points based on how you finish. Of course, again, the more pro points that each individual player has, you come together and accumulate them as a full team, and at those open events you will be seeded based on your current pro points. And then after the end of all of that, all of their amateur scene, the top 16 total teams will be able to represent themselves at CWL Champs. So there will be 32 total teams happening at CWL Champs, at least as far as we anticipate at the moment based on previous announcements. So that's kind of the breakdown. If you're interested in watching all of those pro regular season games, I believe happen Monday through Thursday. And then there'll also be, of course, those events every so often that typically happen Thursdays through Sundays, give or take a couple of days, depending on how the event is set up. And of course, again, for amateurs, you can find all the information how you can participate with friends at the Game Battles website. I'll leave a link down below in the description for you if you're interested in all of that. And that's kind of just a simple breakdown of where things will be happening, when they'll be happening, and how you can watch and participate depending on what you're looking for. So hopefully that helps clear things up. Throughout the rest of the week, I will be also adding in little breakdowns of each of the groups coming into Pro League qualifiers in just a week and a half or so now as we get closer and closer to finalizing who our Pro League teams are. And of course, on this channel, I'll continue to be wrapping up all of those game battle events as well. And I'm really excited about the fact that, you know, I didn't get a chance to touch on this while we were breaking it down, but this will be a very good look, I think, for locking in the Pro League. Those top 16 teams will be there for the whole regular season, no relegations, nothing like that. So that means that these game battle events, they will be purely based for pro points. This is a win-win situation, really, as the amateur scene will not have to play up against pros, and pros won't have to really waste their time playing in them, as, again, it doesn't really make too much of a difference for them since they're already in the Pro League. And, of course, most of them have been playing in the CMG anyways, so those Checkmate Gaming Pro Downs have been kind of a nice way to already separate those two, giving these more semi-pros and amateurs a chance to shine. So, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this helped break things down as you're looking forward and you have some more understanding as we look into the events coming up. So make sure you stay tuned, as again, we'll have those Pro League qualifier breakdowns later on this week. If you enjoyed, make sure you like, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like that. Let me know in the comments below if I missed anything or if there's something that you wish you would have seen more of with this. I'll try to clarify best as I can. But until next time, hope that you keep holding it down. Later, bye-bye.